Hi everyone, this is Kamal. I'm Kamal Dev Sharma and my student number is S360997. I'm here for the presentation of business project mapping of Alakai Holiday Apartments. Alakai Holiday Apartments was established in 1994. It is a accommodation service provider in Darwin. And they have a wide range of units and they are centrally located from where most of the tourist destination can be accessed by walking 10 to 15 minutes. They provide well-equipped apartments with kitchen, AC, and private outdoor spaces. They also provide secure parking, free parking, and there are services available like the housekeeping and administrative services 24/7. Talking about the industry size in Darwin itself, they offer total like there are total 6,952 rooms available there, and those are provided by 124 registered accommodation provider. And average occupancy is like 47.2%. And total number of travelers, like that includes international and domestic, was 7,800, 708,000. Sorry. And let's do the SWOT analysis of Alakai Holiday Apartments. So talking about the street, yes, of course, the location itself is their competitive advantage on the street, and the spacious and fully equipped kitchen and rooms. They just don't only provide rooms, but they are equipped with various other facilities like kitchen and private balconies and courtyard. These are the strength, and the experience they have in the hospitality industry is another strength, and the friendly and helpful staffs. Um, Also the strength of the organization and the facilities like barbecue, pool, secure parking are the strength of the organization. The weakness could be like they are not as popular as the chain hotels and they have limited on-site dining options, and the building is like a bit, it looks older compared to the competitors. The opportunities could be like they can focus on the people, those who come here for the long-term accommodation, like those who come for the sports events, for the business meeting. So they can define a specific package for them. They can design a product or a package that especially caters for the long-term traveler, and they can also increase their online presence in the Facebook and TikTok. Okay? And the threats could be, of course, the threats are the different rules and regulations imposed by the governments at a time, like the travel restrictions imposed by the government during the pandemic, or during the bad weather condition could be the threat. Okay, and the recent violent activities in the Darwin is also has also created a threat for the organization. Yes. So all these things that have on it. So they are the accommodation service providers which cater both international and domestic travels in affordable, comfortable, and convenient way. Now let's talk about the business mapping process. Okay. So the business mapping process is like it starts when customers makes the booking. So when customer makes the booking, the customer can do it, either they can walk in or they can do from the email. So in that case there are two other options which I'll come later. So in case in walk-in and email, let me discuss that there are two lanes. Okay, the one is customer and another is hotel. So hotel is further divided into two: the administrator, that is the employee, or the software itself. Now, so when customer inquires about the hotel directly, either he walks in or over the email or phone, so the administrator receives the inquiry, he checks the availability in the system, and if system says yes, there is availability, then the employee can further process for the booking. If not, he says no and then stops the process over here. Now, so that is the process. If yes, he receives the booking, and if yes, there are other process also. These two process also comes here, and the same process goes. So I'll explain this. So the other way of making the booking could be from the hotel website or from the a third party website like booking.com, Agoda, Expedia. So once the customer inputs all his details, okay, all his details, okay, so the booking is done. So all those details are retrieved by the employer, and he makes those details, he enters those details into the system, and the system saves all those details. Okay, then the system allocates the room. Okay, allocates the room, and then the booking process is over here. Okay, now, so once the customer makes the booking, employee makes the entry, stores in the system, and the booking process is over. Now, another process starts when the customer arrives in the hotel. So it could be the same day, the very next day, after a week, month, or maybe after a 6 month. So once the customer arrives, so the administrator asks for administrator asks for the confirmation. He asks for the ID card and also for the cash and card. Okay, cash and card. So he confirms. So the employee checks his identity card with the system. The system retrieves the data. He confirms the identity. Okay, now the customer provides the cash and card. So he receives the security deposit either by cash or card, and then he provides the keys to the customer. The customer receives the keys, check-ins, check-in. He does a check-in to the room. Okay, now the employee also, after providing the key, he update the system. He check the customer in the system itself. Okay, now the check-in process is over. Check-in process, the customer checks in, the employee updates the system, and the check-in process is already stored in the system. Now, another process is like after the customer checks, after his tenure is over, either the customer extends his stay or he checks out. Okay, if he extends, what he does, he makes a payment. Okay, so the employer receives the payment. Again, he what to do? He extends the keys and he provide the keys to the customer. The customer receives the keys, again checks into the room. So this process repeats. Now, if his stay is over now, and finally he's checking out, what he does is that he returns the keys. He returns the keys, okay, and the employer receives the keys. Now, after receiving the keys, the employee, the security deposit that he has received earlier, he returns the security deposit, and the customer receives the security deposit and check out. Once the customer makes a checkout, the employee updates the system. He does the system checkout as well, and the system is updated. So all the process ends here. Now the process is running smoothly. The problem over here is like, every time the customer makes an entry in the third-party website or in the company website, the data is extracted by the employee of the hotel, and the data is being again entered into the internal system or the internal software. Now, this process costs a lot of time, and the chances of error are there. Like all the data that are in the website, in the third-party website, or in the hotel website, they are retrieved and manually entry has to be. So entering all the data is very much time consuming. If we can automate this process, the time consumed can be reduced by 50%. Okay, so that time can be reduced. And another is like the check-in process itself. Like the check-in, when the customer makes a check-in, so the check-in can be at any time. It's not necessarily that customer checks in during the hotel time. So it can, because of the flight and all, there are flights in the different times. So the check-in, might happen in the midnight or in the morning. So because of that, the one employee has to be in the hotel every time. So even if there is only one customer who is supposed to check in, then customer has to, sorry, then the employee has to stay in a hotel for the whole night. This is causing a lot of problems. So if we can automate this process for like after hours check-in, if we can automate this process, then what we can do is like we can reduce the employee, okay, cost. Like we can, like 33 per hour is what employee cost. Like if you include the super and all, that is what the company has to pay for keeping one employee for 1 hour. So like if every day an employee is kept for 12 hours, it will cost $396 per day. Sorry, cost per day, and for a year it costs like 144,540. So that is huge. If we can automate this process, the after hour check-in process, if we can automate it, okay, so the cost, okay, if we can automate it by, if we can reduce the cost only by half also, then the company will save around 70,000 per year, which is huge. So I think these two things, okay, these two are the problem in the business process mapping, so which has to be automated. So the conclusion is yes, they are the accommodation service provider, and has a wide range of offering and like centrally located. Yeah, and they should focus on automation, okay, for data entry and late check-in. That will reduce their cost. So these are the references that are being used. Thank you.